And why are you folks dying each year? Because you're mixing up your prescription drugs, you're mixing up your herbals and dietary supplements, and you're mixing up your over-the-counter drugs. And then to make matters worse, you're going to 17 different doctors, the cardiologist and the diabetologist and your foot doctor and your dentist and your internist and you name it. And nobody seems to be coordinating your medicine. Then to make matters worse is you're trading drugs. And then to make matters still worse, you're going to about 14 different pharmacies, including mail-order prescriptions. So nobody knows what you folks are gobbling down. But you gobbled 5 billion prescriptions last year. 5 billion. The figure is going to 10 billion by 2010. So the title of my talk is Take Time to Care, Use Your Medicines Wisely, because what you put in your mouth may kill you. Now, I didn't make this up, but we have a Harvard professor, and you folks from UC Berkeley or Stanford or wherever you're from know that UC is secondary to Harvard. Is that true? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, and this Harvard professor by the name of Dr. Lucian Lippi said that the 107,000 are dying each year because you're mixing up your medicines. Now, when you think about 107,000, it's 3 747s going down every day. And many of the problems is that you mix your medicines up and nobody bothers to tell you. Or you drink alcohol on top of your medicine, you fall asleep at the wheel. Or the wrong pill is in the wrong bottle. Or you might be taking 2 drugs that are interfering with each other. So one of the things I want you to do is come by the booth next door. The Food and Drug person, Mariella Taylor, who we brought along with you, has a little brochure to put all your medications in there. So when you go see a new doctor, an old doctor, or you walk into your pharmacist, you say, here's the 10 drugs I'm taking. Will this new drug, will it mix with the old drug? Kind of simple, isn't it? But most seniors, including many that I see and many in the room that we saw, don't know what the name of their medicine is, what they're taking it for, and they take it for years and years and not knowing how to take it. So one of our problems, me and my pants keep falling down.
Nah, man, you can't hold his pants up. Jesus.
Hold on, everybody. Don't get excited. Lean forward. Look to the right. Okay, so I got a bunch of things to tell you about. I won't tell you all of them, but many of you come through, and I've got 6 pharmacists in the other room who are taking your medication therapy management. If you tell us what drugs you take, we can go through the simple MTM that's now required under the Affordable Care Act, which is the new health care law. You folks in Kaiser, you've got the best system going because you can't walk out of Kaiser without getting a consultation. So I'm not so worried about you Kaiser folks because a lot of you know what you're taking. They outline it, they give you education materials, and you carry around a little proof sheet with you on what you're taking so you can spread it around. Kaiser is our model. One of the issues is on the little sheet that we're giving out, it basically talks about a few things. One is, what is the medicine for? Many of you don't even know why you're taking the medicine, but you just continue taking it. So ask your doctor, do I need this medicine? When do you take it? It's so important when you take it. If it says 2 hours before meals or an hour after meals, you got to take it the way. If on the side of the label it's got a little sticker saying don't drink alcohol with this medication, you need to make the warning. If you want to drink, and there's nothing wrong with drink, we all drink.
Get new medication.
Be at home. You don't want to be operating heavy machinery or flying your airplane or out there driving your car. The other issue is you want to take everything you take with a full glass of water. Sounds kind of simple, but how many of you take your pills, you just gobble them down with a little swallow? If you don't take a full glass of water, it sits in your stomach, eats holes in your stomach, and it doesn't work. It's called bioavailability. It has to get in a liquid solution, your pill, to be absorbed into your stomach through the blood system so that it can work. Everybody got that? tell you two things that I'd like you to do. What can you do to prevent all these deaths? Number one, keep a record of all your drugs. Number two, there's a full big sign in every pharmacy about 5 things you need to ask the pharmacist. I want you to talk to the pharmacists. A lot of times they're busy, but there is a law, and the law was written by one of my colleagues, Bill. Where's old Bill Powers? Bill, you out there? Bill Powers, he was the former president of the Board of Pharmacy. And another guy that we need to get people on the Board of Pharmacy. We have a bunch of folks with Mr. Schwarzenegger. They say they're consumer advocates, but they're not. So we need people to change that Board of Pharmacy. When Bill Powers was president of the Board of Pharmacy, served for 8 years, we got mandatory counseling that the pharmacist must counsel. Doesn't that make sense? Yes. Well, 107,000 of you are dying. Why aren't you asking for consultation like you're getting in that little room? And the answer is, there's a law that Bill Powers passed that said you got to get consultation. The only way you don't get consultation if the pharmacist, the clerk, or the technician walks up to you and says, sign this waiver. You do not want to sign the waiver. And the waiver says, I waive my rights for consultation so that pharmacists will tell me about how my drugs are killing me. You need to love the pharmacist. You train this person 4 years undergraduate, 4 years graduate school. He gets a pharmacy degree, then a year internship, 9 years, and he's back there counting and pouring and typing. Well, 107,000 of you dying. I'm getting emotional here, and I'm going to come back. Mary Ellen, it's time for me to quit John. Not yet. Keep going. Okay. And she's going to say a few words, then I'll come back. I want to tell you about another thing that's killing. It's the #1 cause of liver failure. It's so simple. Why consumers don't understand it? I don't know why. But the drug is called acetaminophen. Do you know what acetaminophen is? Tylenol. Let's hear it again. What's acetaminophen?
Tylenol.
Okay. Does everybody know what APAP is? APAP. Tylenol. There's a nurse back there. So
big mouth.
You get a pain pill called Vicodin. It has hydrocodone and APAP. You see it on the label, you don't know it's Tylenol. You don't know it's acetaminophen. But acetaminophen is in 200 different products. The maximum dose of acetaminophen is 4 grams. So you say, well, I'm not a pharmacist, I'm not a doctor, I don't know what 4 grams is. Extra strength Tylenol is 500 milligrams. So if you take 8 of those extra strength Tylenol, that's 2-4 times a day, which almost everybody takes who has arthritis, you're up to maximum dose. Now you got arthritis, pain, and you take a Tylenol in addition with maybe more acetaminophen, like in a Vicodin, and you're over the limit. So it's the #1 cause of liver failure. Now, as I said, there are 200 other products like Excedrin, like Tristan, cold cough, like all these products that have Tylenol in it. But if you don't know acetaminophen is Tylenol, you wouldn't recognize it. So #1 cause of liver failure in the United States. It's a serious problem. Last year, we needed 17,000 livers in the United States, and we only have 6,000 livers. So if any of you folks want to donate your liver, I will sign up that sheet in the next room. But the moral of the story sounds funny, but it's tragic. Because not only do we have liver failures, we have hepatitis B where you lose your liver, and hepatitis C where you lose your liver, and a whole bunch of problems with too much alcohol where you lose your liver. And so to make a long story short, 11,000 of these 17,000 people die because we don't have enough liver. So that's the story on acetaminophen, which brings me to the point that you need to read your labels. You don't want to take your drugs in the middle of the night. Mary Ellen, you're going to talk about ginseng, ginkgo, garlic, gingers. She'll talk about herbals and dietary supplements. She'll talk about St. John's wort. One of the things I want you to do when you walk out of the doctor's office, you want to ask the doctor, what is this medicine? Have him write it down on a little FDA sheet, so that you know what the drug is, and you know what the generic name is. Why